Welcome everyone to the designated plant room of my house. My name is Justin, and today I'm going to be fumbling my way through teaching you how to repot a houseplant. More specifically, spider plant that is behind me. For the past 15 years, I've been following my wife, and she thinks I kind of fell on deaf ears, but I'm here to prove her wrong and take you step by step through on how to do it. If you look around the room, there's about 40 plants in this room alone. We have over 100 in our house. Yeah, we're gonna jump right into it here. So for the transplant, since it's a house plant, you want to keep it indoors rather than taking it out on the patio. It's a really nice day because it could be subjected to mites or disease. So any indoor plants, keep them away from your outdoor plants, and especially don't ever bring them outside and then bring them back in. A couple quick tips to note. You want to make sure you water your plant 1 to 2 days in advance, which we already did here. To minimize the risk of like the shock that would set in from like a transplant, obviously. Second, for a quick cleanup, use newspaper on the floor. We used a household garbage bag, contractor bag in this case, a little bit bigger, bigger plant. And also we sterilize these scissors here because we're going to be pulling a couple of these dead branches and saving some of these spider babies right here and propagating them in these test tubes at the end. Okay, so let's kind of jump right into it here. Obviously, you can wear gloves if you like, it's your preference. But the first step would be to pick the right substrate, which is your soil. Okay, you want to make sure that obviously it drains well. If you don't know exactly the specific plant that you're transplanting, you really want to do your research because it matters. Cacti, obviously looser, more aerated. This does require an aerated soil, but a basic indoor potting soil is what we're going to use. Next, you want to select the right pot. You want to be 1 to 2 inches larger in diameter here. Obviously, this is much bigger than the one that we're going to be dropping into. So I'm going to start quickly here actually, let's remove a couple of these cold branches that we're going to take some of the babies off. I'll take this one right here at the base. And these dead ones can go, obviously, because they're not doing so hot. I'm going to set these aside. Usually cut them at a 45-degree angle, obviously, because that'll promote growth. So let's just tip it right over here. Let's get our plant out. Okay, so it's important to note that you're allowed to gently massage some of the roots. Some plants don't mind being root bound here. Spider plants, they really don't mind it much. They don't want for much at all. So you're okay to go ahead and gently get some of this old soil out if you can here. Just kind of keep working it. Be careful. Once you pull it out of the pot as well, some of those roots might be trapped inside of there, and you really, you'd like to free those up with a sterilized knife if you can. If they're stuck, they get trapped in the water basin at the bottom, but it's good to get a good portion of this out, but not too much, obviously, because a lot of it could be too detrimental to the plant and the root structure. So we took a decent amount there. Okay, so now I preloaded this pot with a little bit of soil. It's important to I remember this. It's important to maintain the depth that you had in your original pot. And that also matters because of, obviously, if it's too low in the pot and it's really moist in your humid summer, you get root rot. So we already preloaded the bottom of this pot here. I'm going to add a little bit more because it's a little light into the bottom there. And I'm going to take this ball, I'll set it right in. Careful of those little branches, and look at that. We're about 1 inch below the top there. And we can go ahead and start filling around. There we go. And you don't want to pack it in too tight. Gentle pats as you're working the soil back in. All the way around there. A second bag in here. Let's go ahead and flip this over. And we're going to fill around this side. It's the importance of the bag, obviously, because we're going to make a heck of a mess. Get a couple of these nodes tucked back in. Like I said, gentle pats. We ended up at the original height we had here. And then you pretty much just wrap it off with a thorough watering. And I'll head up some more after when we're done here. So we can go ahead and pop our plant back up where it was. If you can elevate it, great, because that'll stimulate, obviously, future growth for propagation, if that's what you're into. There you go, looks nice there. So, do you have a better method or a few tips to offer? I'd love to hear them. Let me know. I feel like I've heard a lot of it, but we're always open to suggestions. Like I said, thank my wife for 15 years of plant knowledge I didn't think I'd ever need. So thanks for following along, and catch you all next time.